Namaste, and welcome to a little montage that has nothing to do with fitness, but everything to do with the Lawrence behind the Lawrence. Here are 7 truthful tidbits about Backstage Lawrence. This is truthful tidbit number 1, all about Lawrence. You know, my first memory includes looking down at a cut-up hot dog on a white plate, raising my eyes, and in the kitchen, seeing on a very small television set General Hospital playing. Why? For years, Mom watched General Hospital having hot fudge sundaes daily. To this day, I not only crave hot fudge sundaes, but I do watch General Hospital. In a weird way, in 1983, at the world watching Luke and Laura's wedding, it was a support system to me at a time when my father was dying and I was very alone in college. Well, years later, before email, during snail mail, I sent a letter to Marty Vatz, who since has deceased. He's the manager of General Hospital, and he invited me, if ever in LA, to come to the set of General Hospital. Well, I went out there, and guess what? I made friends with the cast and crew. To this day, not only are they friends, but some of them are clients. Then, on my way home, I stopped at a Catholic church for noon mass at 12:05 at the Good Shepherd, right at the end of Rodeo Drive. And in line for communion, guess whom I met? My favorite General Hospital cast member, Constance Towers Gavin. She was the evil Helena Cassadine, who to this day tries to kill off not only her children, but the residents of Port Charles almost daily with either a gun or a dagger in her hand. But we met in church. So, what I want to ask you is comment, Facebook, post here if you've ever watched or currently watch General Hospital, who your favorite characters are or have been, and I'll tell you if they're friends or clients or both. This is truthful tidbit number 2. Some of you know me, and you know that I don't possess any energy deficit, right? You know why? I came into this world kicking, quite literally. 3:10 a.m., December Christmas morning, 100 years ago, I was breech birth. No doctor was able to turn me around. I came out feet first, and my shoulders and head came out last. As a consequence, however, I have scoliosis for life, and I had some shoulder injuries. So when you look at me, you can actually notice that one of my traps is a little bit lower than the other, and that's not because I don't train my traps to work on that balance, but because I have scoliosis for life. Then years later, in 1969, people thought I was deaf. You know why? I was. I had cysts on both eardrums pressing against my brain that precluded my ability to hear. Mom set me for surgery, and she took me to a novena of masses at St. Jude Catholic Church. The day before my surgery, the cysts burst naturally, and surgery was no longer needed. Almost a miracle, right? Then after being deaf in 1972, I was blind for a few months after having eye surgery on both eyes that kept me from seeing for about 5 months. To this day, because I was twisted, and because I was deaf, and because I was blind, though not all at the same time, thank God it was Lawrence, not Helen Keller, I am very, very cognizant of and take a great love for the people with spinal injuries, also the need for verbal and visual cueing simultaneously to our clients and classes. Do you have any special issues that happen to you in your life that really help you stay abreast of that in the fitness industry, that help you be a better communicator to your classes and clients because of compassion and empathy? Share them, comment right here. Here's truthful tidbit number 3. I'm a teaologist. Not only do I love the first cup of tea in the morning, but I also grow my own sometimes. I look forward to the first flush or the second flush of the season, pick the leaves, dry them in the sun, ferment them, and then I make my own tea bags to take my tea around the world with me. Check this out, my new toy. You open it up, comes with its own biodegradable papers, stick that right there in the hole, fill it with your own blend of tea, sometimes mint and rose petals and black tea, close it, press the green button, and instantly I have my own tea bag ready to travel with my blends around the world with me. Do I only drink the tea that I grow? No, silly. Check this out, my private stash. All the way from my blacks and greens to my blues and my white teas as well. Love this stuff. Travel with it almost everywhere. Are you a teaologist, or do you love tea as well? Share with me here by commenting your favorite blend or company of tea, and let's keep the dialogue going together. Here's truthful tidbit number 4. I love cooking. Now, if somebody said to me at the end of every workday, honey, what's for dinner? I wouldn't love cooking. But because I love to visit a market and find out what's fresh that day in line of fruits and vegetables and put it all together, for me, it's an act of creativity. Actually, I love cooking so much, being able to experience things like breakfast in Bali all the way to dinners in Denmark. I can tell you this as a teaser, my next book will not be a book on fitness. That's all I'll say. Do you love cooking? What's your favorite cuisine? Comment, tell me. Maybe we can share some recipes. This is Truthful Tidbit number 5, Backstage Lawrence. I'm going to share with you something I don't share with a lot of people. I find tan lines very sexy. How do you feel about tan lines? You know, in Mykonos, Greece, there are about 25 beaches, and most people don't wear bathing suits on most of those beaches. However, I always strip down to at least a bikini because I think they're sexy. No, not bikinis, tan lines. So I think it's nice to be able to see at least some part of everyone's body that was as untouched by sun as it was on the day we came into the planet. How do you feel? Do you like to see uniform color on somebody's body, or do you find it also a little bit sexy to find a tan line? Let me know in your comments. This is Truthful Tidbit number 6, Backstage Lawrence. People ask me often, Lawrence, where do you really live? And while the falls and winters go between Manhattan and Puerto Rico, while I still have my home there, I found years ago this amazing island in the Aegean Sea called Mykonos. And on May 1st, 1990, I saw this amazing movie called Shirley Valentine, among the top 10 movies that have changed my life forever. The very end of the movie says, entirely filmed on location on the island of Mykonos, Greece. And 7 days later, on May 7th, I was on that island. And subsequently, every spring, May, and every fall, September, for the rest of my life, I returned to Mykonos. I was really wonderfully blessed to find a landlord, Mr. Nikos, who helped me find an apartment that he rented. And one day he called me to the storage area and he said, Lawrence, check this out. Count up all your boxes that you're leaving here year after year. I had 23 boxes of stuff stored up. He said, don't you think it's time that you think about spending at least half of your year here in Mykonos? I have a friend who's selling some land, and guess where it is? Where the movie Shirley Valentine was filmed. So I went and saw the land, had goosebumps immediately, one of those feelings where you know this is your destiny, purchased the land, that was it, came back to States, taught for a year, sent some money, and then I put the foundation and the walls, came back to States, taught a year of grapevines, sent the money, put in the windows, came back to States, taught for a year of grapevines, sent the money, did the kitchen the next year, came back to States, taught another year of grapevines, and sent the money, and then took in all the furniture and the electricity, slept my first night, 2004, Easter Sunday. Amazing, no? Truly, my home in Mykonos is a house built by sweat. Why do I love it so much? I think it's free. I think it's exciting. I think that the hardest decision I have every day is where is the wind blowing from and to, and based on that, I'll decide where I'm going to swim between 2 and 5 when the island shuts down, 25 beaches from which to choose, clients in the morning, clients in the afternoon, but more than anything, it's an amazing place to be. In the country, I think, that gave us democracy, that also gave us philosophy, it's great to be who you are and have a lot of friends and spend hours, maybe, over a cup of coffee or tea. Sort of what Starbucks is giving us in America, a coffee culture. And that's my fascination with Mykonos. I have some other favorite places in the world, but I can't really afford them or afford to spend as much time as I like to be in Mykonos. So I ask you, would you like to share or comment? What are your favorite places in the world? Hey, this is Truthful Tidbit number 7, all about Lawrence. We all have extravagances or luxuries or what I like to call vices. Mine you see around me. In addition to tea, it happens to be luggage. I actually have 4 sets. A set that I hand carry for work, a set that I hand carry for pleasure, and a set that I have to check for work, and a set that I have to check for pleasure. Although I don't do much pleasure travel these days. You see the brands behind me? I used to love them, but I realized that they're not very functional. Amazing design, amazing advertising, they look fabulous in store windows, but they break down right away. And a company who will remain nameless, whose initials are LV, actually charges me every single time something breaks as soon as I get it from the store, even if it's a brand new strap. I take it in and I'm told, well, your repair will take how many months while we send it to Paris or California, and how much it's going to be to repair it. It drives me nuts. So the new company I've just found is this. I don't work for them or endorse them, although I think I should do both. It's called Tumi, and they stand by their bags for life. So if anything happens, I just take it in, Rockefeller Center and that amazing staff in New York City send it off or repair it in-house, whatever it needs immediately. Tumi is really functional. It's getting more and more chic by the new catalog releases, and they stand by their products. I love luggage. It's the only thing, after all, that starts with me in my abode, goes out into the world, and comes back home with me. So I like different colors. I like to have sort of a fall and winter set, darker colors, and a spring and summer set, lighter colors. And I love packing and I love unpacking. It's the only part of what goes with me around the world. I will say to luggage companies that they're always putting the inside of bags black, but we carry a lot of things that are black, so it's easy to lose things inside the bags. The inside of bags should be bright, light colors, so it's easy to see everything inside, right? Anyway, do you have a vice? Do you have an extravagance? Do you have something you call a necessary luxury? Tell me what it is and we can share that. Here on Facebook, I'd love to know I'm not alone in just having a vice or a luxury. Tell me. Cleopatra said, "It's possible that we die without ever having lived." And I hope I show you that I definitely live for my 7 secrets. I believe in carpe diem. Seize the day because it's on its way. Namaste.